Good morning, everybody. And yes, I want to say first off, I apologize. We are a little late this morning. No excuses. Just had a late start to the walk and talk, but we're here. As a matter of fact, we are going to be joined this morning by Rio. Say hi to everybody this morning. Whoa, hold on. Let's get this. There we go. You say hi to everybody? Yeah? All right. Dobby decided to sleep in today. That's why we were late this morning, because he kept messing with me. He kept looking like he was wanting to get ready. And then when we were about to go out, he said, nah. So I had to put him back in the room, get him situated, get Rio all leashed up, and we are ready to go. Stinky Pinky, am I banned? For the 100th time. You are not banned, Stinky Pinky. I can see you. Good morning. So let me start from the top, and I will say good morning to everybody here. All right. Good morning, Butterfly Kisses. Saw you nice, bright, and early in the chat. Brandy78, good morning. We've got Super Roofer. Let's go. We've got France L. We've got Tammy, good morning. Haley, good morning. Stinky Pinky, good morning. Edward's mom, good morning. Zen11, good morning. All right. My 2 cents, good morning. And welcome to everybody watching from the nosebleed section, or if you prefer to hide out in the bushes, kind of just creeping a little bit. Good morning to you as well. What's up, Weasel Squirt? So, why are we here this morning, right? Didn't I say last time that when you saw me next, it would be on the road again? Well, technically we are on the road. We're just not driving, we're walking. So, yes, we are not on the road yet. But I did say this, right? I did say if there would be any type of updates going on between all the court coverages we have started, I would break any live news. Hence, what we got going on this morning, folks. I've got a little bit of some breaking news for you. Now, as some of you may have already seen in the thumbnail for this live stream, there was looked like a snapshot of a court date, essentially. And what you're seeing there, if you had a chance to see the thumbnail, is essentially a snapshot from Skimask Andy's court docket for his most current case, okay? For some of you that may want to access this yourselves, you are more than welcome to. This is a public record, and you can find all this information at the oscn.net website. All right, so where I'm going with this is if you did have a chance to look at the thumbnail, you're going to notice something, all right? Now, let's start a little bit. Let me give you a little bit of backstory here. So I'm kind of just jumping right into that news. But for some of you that may not know, or some of you that do know, but just may not have been, following up with the most current information about our little buddy Skiwi, he had a couple of court dates coming up. As a matter of fact, the first court date he had coming up is for tomorrow, was scheduled for tomorrow. And that was for his court cost administration hearing. So for some of you that may not know what a court cost administration hearing is, let me just give you a quick little description. Essentially, it is where he would go in front of a judge. Now, this is his second time in front of this judge, granted. And essentially tell this judge why he hasn't made one payment. And in this case, he signed a contract to start a payment plan, which would be of $25 a month. So essentially, tomorrow he would be going in front of this judge to explain for the second time why he's not made one single payment. And most importantly, why he didn't make the first payment, the $25 payment he agreed on with the judge before. This was sometime, I think, around December, January, when he, signed this contract with the judge. And now, remember, this contract was signed, and the reason he had to go in front of this judge in the first place was because Skimask between all the felony, all the misdemeanor cases he has in Oklahoma, he has never paid a single dime towards any of the court costs and fines and fees that he owes. So, he's now racked up about almost close to $5,000, I believe, maybe a little bit more, of a debt that he owes the state of Oklahoma, more specifically his victims. And so he has made essentially an agreement or signed a contract with the courts, and this is what he did around December, January time, to say, hey, I will repay this money back. You're giving me a second chance, and I appreciate that. And because I don't have a job, and because I'm asking for help, because I'm saying I'm a low-income individual, the judge was nice enough to start him off on a $25 a month payment plan. All right? $25 a month. Easy peasy. Especially when, if you've been following Skiwi the last couple of months, or since January, or when he signed this contract, he has made plenty of Cash App donations that he could have easily taken care of that $25 a month payment. All right? So, where are we at now? So, where we are now is when he did sign this contract, the judge did put a date. So, I want to let everybody know. This date for his court cost administration hearing had already been set around December, January. Essentially, the day he signed that contract, the judge put a date because they know he's a scumbag, and obviously they know he's probably not going to pay. So what the judge went ahead and did is the judge set a date, which was for tomorrow, and this was going to be where they would essentially check up on little Skiwi, see how he was doing on his payment plan. Now, for all you've been following Skiwi, especially the last few days, you've probably figured out by now that he hasn't made one single payment towards this contract that he signed, okay? Not even the initial $25 payment. And it's not initial. The monthly payment's going to stay the same. I just mean he didn't even make one payment, okay? So, where he finds himself now is going in front of this judge again and having to explain why he didn't pay the first time, why he didn't pay this second time, and why he's in front of this judge now asking for a third chance, essentially, to pay down this over $5,000 debt that he owes the courts and his victims. Now, you may want to ask yourself, well, what's going to happen, right? I mean, this guy's already had 3 chances. Well, I'll tell you what could happen. Then I'm going to go with the breaking news. We're almost getting there. Thank you for your patience. But what has happened is essentially when he signed that contract, 2 things he signed pretty much agreeing to. One was obviously to repay the money back, but the second thing was what would happen to him if he didn't pay the money back. And essentially he's signing that he acknowledges that he understands the consequences of what could happen if he doesn't make a payment. So, here's what could happen. Again, if you like to see this for yourself, this is all information that you can download directly off of that website, oscn.net, that I gave you. You just got to find on the website the section that says Court Document Search. Click on that. Simple name search is all you need, and you will find every single court document related to this individual for the state of Oklahoma, okay? Since he was 18, obviously they can't put out minor information out and for the public, but essentially anything or crime he's committed since 18 and up will be documented on that website. So, pretty much he signed and acknowledged that if he didn't make a payment, that 2 things could happen, all right? If he didn't essentially show up to this court cost hearing, the one that was scheduled for tomorrow, they could easily issue out a bench warrant, okay? Especially since he's not made one payment. That was one thing that he acknowledged and signed for. The second thing was he acknowledged and signed for that he understood that if, no matter what, if he showed up to court or didn't, that he was well aware that if he had not made any payments and the court can prove that he had every ability to, then that they can sentence him to a jail sentence. Okay? A lot of people think that, you can't be sentenced when you owe debt. That is correct. That has to do more with the IRS, with taxes, okay? And even then, they can still put you in jail for taxes, okay? There's just, we're discussing just kind of like small type of little debts, okay? Yes, they cannot put you in jail for that, all right? But when it comes to this is different, all right? They can put you in jail, just like people that don't want to pay child support. They can put you in jail for not paying child support. So I just want to clarify that because I know and I'm pretty sure Skiwi's already watching this live. So if you are, hold on, I was being rude. Skiwi, good morning. And everybody in chat, especially you members of the jury, please spam some of your favorite Skiwi emojis as our little buddy is happily watching right now and recapping this show as we speak. Good morning, Skiwi and the Angels. Oh, and he's all happy. We'll actually, we'll get to that here in a bit. That's some other news we'll talk about. Let's continue on, right? I don't want to start confusing people. So where are we at now? Okay, so essentially tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow was the 16th. Tomorrow, according to the docket, was when Skimask was supposed to be going in front of the court cost administration hearing judge. Now, here is the kicker. Here's the breaking news, okay? Skimask does not have to be in court tomorrow. The court, as a matter of fact, has taken it upon themselves. Remember what I'm telling you. The court has taken it upon themselves to reschedule Skimask court cost administration hearing for sometime in September. Essentially about 3.5 months out from Tuesday's second court date. Pretty interesting. And as I was getting ready this morning for the walk and talk, I was listening to our little buddy, and he actually said he was going to wait to see what I had to say. Remember, I am not a lawyer. I am not certified to give legal advice. But I guess apparently, although Skimask is going to sit there and deny it, I seem to be some type of, I guess, like secondary law advisor for the guy. I guess I'm his cheap, free lawyer. Skiwi, it's going to cost you $1 Cash App, okay? But I'm going to do you a favor. I'll give you this info for free, okay? Here's my opinion on why I think the courts moved your court cost administration hearing, especially when it's about 3.5 months out. Do some of you in the chat want to make a guess? Actually, I'll let the chat answer. I'm curious to see if anybody in the chat's kind of connected the dots yet. And remember, this is just an opinion. I'm not saying this is exactly why it happened. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to relight my little Thursday morning coffee is what I call it. All right, well, I don't see anybody guessing in the chat, so I'm just going to go ahead and answer. Here's my opinion. Here's why I think they moved the trial date. Could have been done for a lot of reasons. I mean, it could have been done. Remember, Skimask, before I get to, the reason you're probably thinking too and getting all spooked and whacked out about, I do just want to say this. Remember, there is a federal holiday on Monday. That could have been one reason why they rescheduled it. But why would they reschedule it 3.5 months out? That's kind of weird. So, what I said to myself? I said, well, I know Monday's a federal holiday. That's why, because usually, they usually do like hearings on Mondays and Fridays. That's pretty typical of all courts. And then throughout the week, they do other type of stuff. But generally, when you're doing the type of hearing that Skimask is going for on Tuesday, that's a type of hearing you'd hear on Monday or Friday, okay? Now, most likely the reason they schedule that for Tuesday, and now I'm talking about his probation hearing. This is the hearing that I will be attending along with my co-host Stick. I mean, at this point, he's just going as a friend. I call him a co-host just to be fun. But most importantly, which I had already announced before the road trip, way before, and hence why we had the fundraiser for this, I, as a representative of the NJ Courts TV channel, will be heading down to Tulsa for a second time, and this will be for providing as much of the court coverage that I can of the June 20th Skimask Andy probation court hearing. Okay, so the reason that was scheduled for Tuesday versus like a Monday or Friday was because of the federal holiday on Monday. Okay, now maybe when we're going back to this reschedule of the court cost administration, like I said, you know, maybe they just wanted an early holiday weekend, so they didn't want to do anything on Friday. I don't think so, but that could have been one reason. But like I said, why would they reschedule it 3.5 months out? Why I'm thinking they did is because, remember what we were saying before, and again, we weren't sure of this, but there is very much a possibility, was on this hearing on Tuesday, you guys got to remember, this isn't a typical, like, arraignment, okay? This isn't Skimask going in there for the first time and, you know, pleading not guilty or guilty, or even before he goes there saying, you know, I need a public defender, or, you know, trying to apply through the indigent program for a public defender, blah, 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 okay? No, we're not even there. Not even close. That's already been said and done. As a matter of fact, this case has already been, it's complete. It's done. What happened is Skimask he took a plea deal, okay? So this case ended on a plea deal agreement. So essentially what Skimask did is he had to plead guilty to a misdemeanor assault and battery charge on his brother. And in lieu of receiving 90 days, so in lieu of receiving a 90-day jail sentence, Skimask was given a probation sentence, okay? Part of that included him having to register with the probation office, him having to attend and register with an anger management course, and then, and then most importantly, the fines. He had to make some payments, okay? And then those were in addition to the money he already owed, all right? So, Skimask did not any of those. Not one single thing. Not even one of the three, two of the three. 0 for 3, okay? Hell, like on the payment, not even one payment. The guy didn't even make one payment, then stopped, okay? So these are just things that the judge is going to be, you know, considering. That's why I'm telling you guys this, all right? So what I'm thinking is Tuesday, and this is why I'm telling you guys kind of what the process is or how this works, because I know Skimask, you know, either now or after I get off the live stream is going to just pretty much filling you guys up with a bunch of bullshit, which I know you all are aware. You know, I don't have to give you, most of y'all, a warning, but for some of you that may be new, yeah, okay, this guy's just going to be filling. And as a matter of fact, he was already confused this morning on how to go with this scam, you know, moving on to the next scam, because he pretty much whoopsied on his last scam, and I'm going to explain that here in a bit. But what I think is going to happen is, and this is the reason I think that this, tomorrow's court date was moved for September, was because this is not going to be a traditional arraignment type of hearing, I'm guilty or not guilty. This is essentially Skimask showing up to say, hey, when the judge asking, well, why didn't you do any of the things we, you know, asked you to do in lieu of, you know, a jail sentence? Skimask, of course, is going to come up with some bullshit answer. Judge is obviously going to look back at his Skimask criminal history record, see that, hey, this guy's been given chance after chance after chance. As a matter of fact, I was even surprised, to be honest with you, that he was even given this probation in lieu of the 90-day jail sentence. And you know what, Skimask, if you're watching, you should have you should have been all over that, okay? You should have been all over that, knowing that you lucked out royally, okay? Especially for the fact that, well, I'm not even going to go there. Let's not get people confused, but yeah. So, you know, typical Skimask fashion, didn't give one fucks, right? And now he finds himself in the situation he's in. And in like typical Skimask fashion, here he is now begging, scamming, pretty much making his responsibilities, his fuck-ups. He's now throwing it on his viewers, his mods, his donators, his supporters. So, here I'm going to go with the scam of the week. Yes, you've heard that right. Scam of the week. We might even have to call it scams with an S of the week when we're talking about Skimask here. But if you all remember, probably starting Monday, Tuesday, Skimask started the old, oh, I need $150 to, essentially pay the judge and the courts for the 6 months I haven't made a payment on yet, scam. Right? So, and you guys, and it didn't work out for him. I mean, honestly, this guy's probably fucking a little bit relieved knowing that because he didn't make the $150 fundraiser goal. And you know what? I'm happy that you all, angels, although you're still participating in the chat, you cult members are still participating in the chat. I understand. It's a process. So I'll give you this. You guys were at least smart enough to not fall into this last scam. And kudos to you guys, okay? You figured it out. Because he didn't get any, he got a few donations, but he did not even come close to meeting the $150. Oh, and don't forget, plus Uber rides, another $80. Oh, plus he needs an energy drink and a hot dog on the way there, so add another $5 to that. So essentially the guy was asking for, a couple $100 to bail him out of his own bullshit, all right? Now, here's where I'm going with this. If you guys don't think that Skimask wasn't well aware of this court change as of yesterday, you guys are very well mistaken, okay? As a matter of fact, not only was Skimask aware of the court change yesterday, date change, his chat was even telling him yesterday about it. And he just kind of glanced over it, okay? Let me tell you this. You don't think Skimask, if he really didn't think or know about the court date change, if he's just all of a sudden is glancing over at chat and he sees somebody, especially like one of his mods or cult members say, hey, Skimask, the court date got changed. You don't think that guy would have just stopped immediately and said, what? Wait a minute, what'd you just say? And just start talking about that and having everybody investigate, going on the website for himself to check. All he did was just pretend like he didn't hear it and see it because he was still trying to scam. And then here's what happened today. He knew that I was eventually going to break the news. As a matter of fact, I knew about this since yesterday. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with the news. I didn't know if I was just going to keep my mouth shut, which, hey, I'm not his babysitter. I'm not his mom. I don't have to tell him when his court dates change, But, hey, he already beat me to it. He broke it this morning. And you want to know why he did it, right? Because he was probably worrying all night and saying, oh, man, do you think NJ Courts is going to break the news about the court date change? And if he does, don't you think all my angels are going to think that I then try to scam them, saying that I needed the money when he's saying that I would have already known about the court date change? Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying, Skiwee. And Jersey Girl, I don't know, or Jersey Cheryl, I don't know if you're agreeing with me, but yep, that is the truth. Oh, and I see that up there. He knew. Oh, he definitely did. So here's why he finally came out with the truth. One, he knew I was going to do it, right? But second, here's the other reason. The reason is because he didn't get the $150, so he wasn't worried about it at this point. Trust me, if this guy would have made the $150 or more, that guy, he would have still gone to court tomorrow, knowing that the court date got changed, made up some, he would have shown you in the Uber, he would have probably would have walked into the court, and acted like he really went to court. I mean, that's how far the guy would have gone to protect the fact that he scammed, these people for that type of money. But he didn't, okay? Reason he didn't have to go that far was because he didn't make the fundraiser. He didn't, and that's why I said kudos to the angels. Y'all didn't get scammed this time. That, or you guys are just flat out broke because you've already forked over close to $2,000 just for supposedly court, fees and this to get him out of his bond and help him pay his court costs down and all that. Where'd all that money go to? Yep. So, yeah, so that's why he came out this morning all trying to sound all cool and calm about, oh, there's a date change? What? I didn't know about that. Oh, sure you did, bucko. As a matter of fact, I need to even verify when that court changed, that date got changed, and as far as in the oscn.net website. I noticed it yesterday early morning. It was brought to my attention, but this could have been done like Tuesday, okay? So Skimask could have very well have already known this from before and you know, was scamming hard. I can tell you he knew about yesterday, and he was still scamming. He was going into the evening yesterday evening, still scamming, saying he needed $150. So, as a matter of fact, I think he even went on early this morning and was still getting into that until I think he just realized, hey, one, I'm not going to get the money, and two, you know, NJ Courts is going to break the news and going to obviously call me a scammer, which you are. So he tried to, you know, pretty much back out of that scam, but obviously it's obvious, it's apparent. So let's see, what else is he working on now? So I imagine he's gotta move the scam now. So I'm sure he's gonna, you know, be asking for more money now to pay the courts down since he's got a little bit of time. But now he's freaking out. Now he's freaking out about, hey, do you think they might be putting me in jail come Tuesday, and that's why they rescheduled my court cost administration hearing about 3.5 months out? Who knows? But you know what's going to come next, right? Now, starting today and all weekend is going to be the, oh, in case I go to jail on Tuesday, I need money scam. You know what I mean? So, and here's the thing. He's already started trying to tell people that supposedly he doesn't have court on Tuesday. Well, he's saying on Monday. Well, duh, you don't have court on Monday. Monday's a federal holiday. The court is closed. That's why they rescheduled the court hearing for Tuesday. So he's just trying to be smart, okay? So he's trying to say, oh, I'm not going to court. Yeah, well, you're not going to court on Monday. That's apparent, all right? But here's his options, okay? He either shows up to court on Tuesday, or if he doesn't show up, he's going to be in some major trouble. I'll tell you that. And I'm just going to say this, Skimask, because I know you're watching, bro. Just like I said before, just handle your shit, man. Don't let YouTube, don't let your fucking narcissistic ego get in the middle of this, because all you're going to do by not showing up is you're going to like ruin me. And I mean, maybe not as much Tulsa, and honestly, there's a lot of cool stuff in Oklahoma. But man, we are going to have a blast doing some awesome IRL. Not even close. Are excited. All right, so that was some of the breaking news. Good morning to everybody, but hey, let's just hang out and shoot the shit type of part. I think she's going to admit it. She's a girl dog. I think they like each other. I think that now she doesn't bark. Mood today. Come on, Riel, let's go say hi to your girlfriend. Good morning. We always got to see if she's in a good mood or not. I see you. All right. She didn't want to say hi. Turned on my Wi-Fi because I may have just drained the last of my high-speed internet. It resets tomorrow, so don't worry. That's why I was stoked to be going on this trip right before my internet reset. So I think that may have happened because I was probably down to my last few gigs. A little bit better. I'll explain probably what happened is I was down to like the last few gigs of my high-speed internet, as they call it. It resets tomorrow, so it's going to reset right before the road trip, thankfully. But yeah, so what I have to do now is just connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot. So if you guys can hear me, I'm going to walk back to the house And I'm going to restart the stream on the laptop just to finish what we were talking about, okay? So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes, all right? NJ Courts, out! Just for 5 minutes.